Have you ever walked into someone's home and immediately felt something was off? The furniture was fine. The colors were decent. The space was clean, but the whole room just felt wrong. Almost like a waiting room at a dentist's office. Cold and flat and slightly uncomfortable. And then have you ever walked into a different home? Maybe even a smaller one. Maybe even one with cheaper furniture. And felt instantly relaxed, warm, welcomed, like the space itself was wrapping around you. You probably looked around trying to figure out what was different. Was it the paint color? The decor? The layout? It wasn't any of those things. It was the lighting. It is almost always the lighting. And here is the thing that makes this so fascinating and so frustrating at the same time. The vast majority of American homeowners have never once thought critically about the lighting in their homes. Not once. They moved in, they flipped the switches that were already there. They bought whatever bulbs fit the fixtures. And they stopped thinking about it entirely. And the result is that tens of millions of homes across this country are making the exact same preventable mistakes. Right now. Tonight. And the people living in them have simply adapted to a reality that is quietly making their homes look significantly worse than they could. This video is going to change the way you see every room in your house. Not metaphorically, literally. By the time we're done, you are going to walk through your own home and see things you have never noticed. Mistakes that have been there the entire time. And the exact fixes that will transform how your space looks and feels without moving a single piece of furniture. No renovations. No new sofas. No repainting walls. Just light. And once you understand what we're about to walk through together, you will never look at a room the same way again. Let's start with the single biggest lighting mistake in American homes, and it is so universal, so deeply embedded in how we live, that most people never even question it. Overhead lighting. The ceiling fixture. The single source of illumination that the vast majority of homeowners rely on as their primary and often only light source for an entire room. You have one in almost every room of your house right now. Maybe a flush mount in the bedroom. Maybe a basic fixture in the living room. Maybe a ceiling fan with a light kit in the den. And every night you walk in, you flip that switch, and that single light source pours down from directly above, distributing flat, harsh, directionless light across everything in the room equally. Here is why this is a catastrophic design mistake, and the explanation is simpler than you think. Humans are not evolved to live under light that comes from directly overhead. Think about every natural light source you have ever experienced. The sun rises from a low angle. It moves across the sky. At its most intense, at high noon, it is directly overhead, and that is the moment outdoor spaces feel the harshest, the most blinding, the least pleasant to be in. Interior designers have known for decades what neuroscience has more recently confirmed. Light from directly above creates shadows that fall downward on faces, makes rooms feel clinical and flat, and neurologically signals something closer to alertness and mild stress than to comfort and relaxation. It is the same reason hospitals use overhead fluorescent lighting. It keeps people awake and alert. That is not what you want in your living room at 8 o'clock at night. But the overhead lighting problem goes even deeper than just the direction of the light. The problem is also the singularity of it. When your entire room is lit by one source from one position, there is no depth, no dimension, no visual interest. Everything looks equally flat because the light is falling equally everywhere. The architecture of your room, the texture of your walls, the depth of your bookshelves, the warmth of your wood tones. All of that visual richness disappears under single-source overhead lighting. It is the visual equivalent of taking a beautiful photograph and using the harshest possible flash directly above the lens. Everything that made the scene interesting gets washed out. The fix, and this is where it starts getting genuinely exciting, is layered lighting. And layered lighting is not a complicated concept. It is simply the practice of using multiple light sources at different heights and for different purposes within the same room. Interior designers break this into 3 categories: ambient light, task light, and accent light. And the homes that feel the most beautiful, the most expensive, the most intentional, are using all 3 simultaneously. The homes that feel flat and clinical and somehow wrong are using only one. Ambient light is your general illumination, the overall light level of the room. Task light is focused, functional light for specific activities. a reading lamp beside a chair, under-cabinet lights in a kitchen, a desk lamp in an office. An accent light is decorative and dimensional. A lamp that throws light upward against a wall. A small fixture inside a bookshelf. A candle cluster on a coffee table. When you have all three working together, the room has depth. It has layers. It has the quality that makes people walk in and immediately feel like something is different. Something is better, even when they cannot name what it is. Now let's talk about the second massive mistake. And this one is so simple to fix that it is almost painful to realize how many people are living with it right now. Bulb temperature. The color of your light. Because not all white light is the same color. And the color of your bulbs is silently destroying the mood of every room in your home. Light color is measured in kelvins, a temperature scale, and the range runs roughly from 2700 K at the warm, amber end all the way to 6500 K at the cool blue-white end. Daylight bulbs, the ones that look almost bluish white, sit around 5,000 to 6,500,000. Cool white bulbs are around 400 K. Warm white bulbs are around 2,700 to 3,000 K. And the difference between standing in a room lit with 6,500 K bulbs versus 2,700 K bulbs is absolutely staggering. Here is the mistake that the majority of American homeowners are making without knowing it. When LED bulbs first became widely available, most of the affordable options available at hardware stores ran cool or daylight temperatures, that 400 K to 500 K range. They were bright, they were efficient, and they were wrong for almost every living space in a home. But people bought them because they were cheap and available and nobody told them there was a choice to be made. And now those same cool white LEDs are sitting in bedroom lamps and living room fixtures all across the country, making warm-tone furniture look greenish, making skin tones look flat and slightly ill, making wooden floors look grey, and making rooms feel like a commercial office space or a big box retail store rather than a home. The fix costs almost nothing. Warm white LED bulbs, the ones in the 2700 K to 300 K range, are available at every hardware store. They cost the same as cool white bulbs, and they will transform the look and feel of your rooms with the single act of replacing the bulbs that are already in your existing fixtures. Not new fixtures, not new lamps, just new bulbs. If you do nothing else from this entire video, do this one thing. Go room by room. Replace every bulb with the 2,700,000 warm white LED, and watch what happens to your spaces. Colors become richer. Wood tones come alive. Skin looks healthier. And the room finally starts to feel like somewhere you want to be, instead of somewhere you have to be. But we're not done. Because there is a third mistake that compounds everything we've already talked about. And it is the mistake that makes the difference between a room that looks like a beautifully designed space and a room that looks like a furniture showroom after hours. And it comes down to how you are using light to define zones within a room. Most open-plan living spaces in American homes are lit the same way from end to end. The overhead light comes on. It covers the whole room, and every corner and every seating area and every surface gets the same level and quality of light, regardless of what that area is meant to do or feel like. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how light shapes space. Light does not just illuminate, it defines. It creates zones. It tells people where to sit, where to gather, where to direct their attention. In a well-lit room, you are being guided by the light itself, and it feels natural and intuitive, even when you are not consciously aware of it. Think about the best restaurant you have ever been to. Not a fast food chain. A restaurant where the atmosphere made the whole experience better. What was the lighting like? Almost certainly, there was no single overhead source flooding the room. Instead, there were pendant lights hanging low over the tables, candles or small lamps creating intimate pools of light at individual seating areas, and the overall light level was lower, warmer, and more focused than anything you would find in a typical American living room. And that lighting arrangement was not accidental. It was designed to make you feel comfortable, relaxed, slightly cocooned, like your table was its own small world within the larger space. That feeling is entirely created by light. You can do exactly the same thing in your living room, and it doesn't require a designer or a renovation. It requires a floor lamp behind the sofa, a table lamp on either side of a seating area, a small accent lamp on a bookshelf or console, The ceiling fixture, if it needs to be on at all, can be on a dimmer, and you should be using a dimmer in every single room of your home that doesn't already have one. Dimmers are among the highest return, lowest cost improvements in home design, and they are something that electricians can install in under an hour, or that handy homeowners can do themselves in about 15 minutes. The ability to bring your overhead light down to 20% while your floor lamp and table lamps do the heavy lifting changes the entire character of a room. That is not an exaggeration. It is a documented, reproducible transformation that designers rely on every single day. Let's talk about the bedroom specifically for a moment, because the bedroom is where lighting mistakes have the most direct impact on your daily well-being, and it is the room where those mistakes are most consistently made. The standard American bedroom setup is a ceiling fixture, often the builder-grade flush mount that came with the house and has never been changed, combined with matching nightstand lamps that most people bought as a set. Both the overhead light and the nightstand lamps are running the same cool white bulbs. The overhead light is on a single switch with no dimmer, and the result is a bedroom that looks more like a hotel room you're unhappy about than a personal sanctuary that supports rest and relaxation. The bedroom has two competing needs that require two completely different lighting environments, and this is the insight that changes everything. During the day and in the evening hours when you're getting ready, you need functional light. Clear, even illumination for seeing yourself in a mirror, choosing clothes, moving through the space. But in the hour or two before sleep, research on circadian rhythm and light exposure consistently shows that exposure to overhead bright light, particularly cool-toned light, suppresses melatonin production and delays the onset of sleep. Your brain cannot easily distinguish between a 500 K overhead light and the midday sun. Both signal wakefulness, both keep you alert, both work against the biological process of winding down. The fix is not a complete lighting overhaul. It is a layered approach. Warm-tone nightstand lamps with two 700K bulbs, used instead of overhead lighting in the hour before bed, is enough to change the circadian signal your brain is receiving. A simple dimmer on the overhead fixture allows you to bring that light down to a very low level on the evenings when you need some ambient light, but don't want the full activation response. And a small warm-toned accent lamp on a dresser, on a low shelf, positioned to throw light upward against a wall, creates exactly the kind of low, warm, enveloping light environment that tells your nervous system it is safe to begin winding down. This is not interior design theory. This is applied neuroscience, available to everyone, using products that cost less than a dinner out. Now here is something that most lighting conversations completely ignore, and it might be the most visually impactful point in this entire video. The direction light travels within a room is as important as the source and temperature of the light itself. Most homes only have light traveling downward, from fixtures and overhead sources, pressing down toward the floor. But professional designers and cinematographers rely heavily on upward light, because upward light does something that no downward source can replicate. It creates the illusion of height. It makes ceilings feel taller. It makes rooms feel larger and more generous. And it adds the kind of dimensional warmth that makes a space feel photographed and intentional, rather than basic and unconsidered. Floor lamps with upward-facing torchlight heads. Table lamps that throw light up against a nearby wall. LED strip lighting placed on top of tall bookshelves or kitchen cabinets aimed at the ceiling. All of these are sending light upward, reflecting it off the ceiling back into the room as a soft, diffused glow. And the visual effect on the room's perceived size, warmth, and quality is dramatic out of all proportion to the cost of the fix. You have probably seen this effect in hotel lobbies and high-end restaurants without realizing what you were responding to. Those spaces feel expensive and large, partly because whoever designed the lighting was deliberately moving light in multiple directions, simultaneously down from pendants, up from floor lamps, sideways from wall sconces, creating a three-dimensional light environment that feels rich and dimensional, rather than flat and institutional. Your living room can do the same thing. Your bedroom can do the same thing. Every room in your home can do the same thing. None of it requires anything other than the right lamps in the right positions with the right bulbs. Let's bring all of this together into something you can act on tonight, because information without action is just entertainment. And what we are going for here is transformation. The 3-step lighting audit for any room in your home goes like this. First, count your light sources. If you have one, you have a problem. Every lived-in room should have a minimum of 3 light sources, ambient, task, and accent. And ideally those sources should be at 3 different heights. Second, check your bulb temperatures. Pull out a bulb right now if you need to and look at the Kelvin rating on the packaging. If it is above 300 K and it is in a living space, a bedroom, living room, dining room, or den, replace it with a 2700 K warm white equivalent. Third, evaluate your dimmers. If your overhead light has only an on-off switch, it is working against you every single evening. A dimmer switch in those rooms is among the single best investments you can make in your home's atmosphere. These are not expensive problems. They are not complicated problems. They are invisible problems. The kind that people live with for years without ever questioning them. Because nobody ever told them there was a different way. You now know there is a different way. And once you see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. Walk through your home tonight with fresh eyes. Look at every room as if you are seeing it for the first time. Ask yourself, how many light sources are there? Where is the light coming from? What temperature are the bulbs, and how does this room actually make me feel when I'm in it? The answers to those questions will tell you exactly where to start. And the starting point is almost always simpler, cheaper, and more immediately transformative than you expect. Lighting is not the finishing touch in interior design. It is the foundation. It is the single element that makes everything else work or fail. The furniture you already have, the colors already on your walls, the floors you already live on. All of that can look dramatically better or dramatically worse depending on nothing other than how the room is lit. And now you know exactly what to look for, exactly what to change, and exactly why it matters. If this video opened your eyes and something tells me it did, then you already know this channel is where you come. When you want the kind of insight that actually changes how you live. Not surface level tips, not trendy aesthetics that date in 6 months, but the foundational knowledge that makes every design decision you make from here forward more intentional and more impactful. Hit subscribe right now if you haven't already, because the next video is even more interesting. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see you in the next one.